Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing an introduction to one of my next projects. It is this John Deere 2-furrow plow for my John Deere Model M. Now this plow is a special plow made for the John Deere Model M. As you can see, there's a long bar that goes out of the front. This is part of the attaching mechanism that John Deere created that is kind of like the 3-point hitch, but it was John Deere's version of the 3-point hitch. If you guys would like that, I will do a separate video on that. Just let me know if you guys would like to see how the John Deere hitch works in the comments. But that would be a cool video. Anyway, we got this plow for my tractor. Somebody actually gave it to me for free, which was pretty nice of them. And yeah, when we got it in 2025, so we got it last year, and we brought it home. Here is a picture. I'll put a picture in here of the day we brought it home. So we got the plow, and one of our neighbors also has a John Deere 2-furrow plow for a Model M. I think they're called the M2 Plow, and that's this plow here. So another neighbor also had a John Deere M2 plow that was sitting in his bush. So we took some parts off of it because it was pretty rusty. It wasn't in very good shape, but this one was in better shape. So we decided that this is the plow we're going to make into my plow, because we also have our neighbor's plow. He brought it over to us. He took it out of his bush and he brought it over, and he said we could use it if we wanted it, but this one was in better shape, so we decided to use this one and turn the other plow into parts. You don't see too many of these plows, mainly because they're just for the Model M, but if you have a Model M, most likely you're going to own one of these one day. So we can start with the different things I did on it since I got it. So you saw the day we brought it home. I worked on getting it unloaded, and then I started working on getting it hooked up to the tractor. On this plow here, this piece here goes in the center of the tractor. This folds into the center of the tractor, and it sits about right there on the plow. That is essentially your third link, like on your 3-point hitch. That piece came with my parts plow, and we needed to do some modifications on that, as well as make a new piece for it. But we got it to work, and that was one of the biggest challenges, to get it hooked up. But we got it all hooked up, and we tried to do some plowing with it. And when it was kind of too bad, the time we were doing plowing with it, the ground was super hard, so we couldn't get a great feel for where it's adjusted, because it just wouldn't really go into the ground because of how hard the ground was. But we were able to get a pretty good idea on how to adjust it. So there's a few spacers up on the front here for this part of the hitch mechanism. We were able to move some of those spacers around and get the plow pretty good as far as the width of both furrows. There's a lot of adjusting on this plow, and well, not too much adjusting. You have some adjusting here, and you have some adjusting on the front hitch. As far as this way, this adjustment here adjusts the plows this way. So if you adjust it too much, this furrow is going to be deeper than this furrow, and if you don't adjust it enough, this furrow is going to be deeper than that furrow. So you want a happy medium where they're both the exact same pretty much. And that front part here, adjusting that makes it so your whole plow moves over there. How much this furrow was turning over was a lot more than how much this one was turning over, so we had to adjust that front plate over so that we would have an even amount of soil the furrows would have to turn over. And on that front plate, that adjusted, on that piece that goes in the middle of the tractor, that adjusts your plow this way, so you can adjust it how much your angle is to go into the ground. So we were able to get all those adjusted pretty much the way we wanted it. I also had to do some work to this breakaway feature. So basically, if you hit a rock on the plow, this spring mechanism and locking mechanism will jump, so that the whole plow will kind of pick up itself out of the ground. Another thing we did to the plow was put this wheel on. This wheel was from our parts plow, and I did paint it up, but not when we put it on. I'll talk about why it's painted up later. But we were able to get this wheel off the parts plow, so that's why this wheel is a little different color than this plow here, up here anyway. And then we did some plowing with it. We got the mow board shined up. We brought it to one plow day just to do a little bit of plowing, and did some plowing around our house. Got it dialed in pretty good. Got this wheel adjusted over. There's also an adjustment on the wheel. So we got pretty much it all adjusted just in time for winter time. So we put it in here for winter time, and I started working on it about after Christmas, after my tractor was done, so I could full concentration on the plow here. What I did this winter was this wheel here. When we were moving it over, we were hitting this with a sledgehammer to try to get the plow, take this piece off. And the sledgehammer, when we were hitting it back here, accidentally came down and, well, actually we were hitting it in a couple different spots because we're trying to get it free. And of course, since it's been on here for 70 years, sitting outside in a bush, this wheel here was sitting in the bush because this was off the parts plow. But since it was sitting and it was so rusty, we were trying to hit it. So we were hitting multiple different angles. But one of the hits missed, and it kind of hit the back here where you can't see behind the wheel. And it broke 2 castings on this wheel unit. And we could still plow, but the wheel would keep getting jammed up because there's broken pieces of the casting inside the wheel. So this winter I took this all apart, and we were able to, we know somebody, one of our neighbors has a steel lathe, and he was able to teach me how to do some metal working, and we were able to lathe up a new piece for the inside of this hub, and then we were also able to weld up the other piece that was broken. That wasn't broken quite as bad. It was just one big piece where the other one was 3 smaller pieces. So I was able to paint it all up and grease it up, and I just got that put back together this week. So you can see it spins nice now, and should give many more good years of service if nobody hits it with the sledgehammer. So I did the wheel. Let's see, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Oh yes, I am. So you can see there's no discs or coulters, I think they're called, on this plow. That is because we took them off. The 2 that were on here, the one on the front was a lot bigger, and the one on the back was a lot smaller. And the one on the front was had like teeth, kind of, and the one on the back was just a normal disc. So they weren't matching, they weren't the same size, so we decided we would like to get some different ones that at least matched. So we talked to our local cash crop farmer. I helped him out last spring with soybean harvest, running the grain cart. He also does the land on our farm, and we were talking to him, and he said that he has some discs that they're going to be taking off one of their cultivators, and we think they're about the right size, so we're going to modify them to fit this plow, and it should be nice to have 2 matching ones, and they would just go to the scrapyard anyway because they get wore down, but they're the perfect size for this plow, so might as well put them back to use. Not very hard to use, but just nice, maybe a couple plow days a year kind of use. I did put a little bit of green paint job. You can see that this green looks a little better than this green here. I painted a little bit of this plow, but we're going to do a full paint job hopefully. And hopefully this spring we can do a full paint job. I'd like to do a sandblast this whole plow frame, and then we can paint it with John Deere green. I don't think I'm forgetting anything other than the last thing I'd like to talk about, and that is this piece up here. This piece here, I hope you can see it. It's in a couple different colors. You can see right here, it's in primer, and right here it's not in primer. That piece was bent. That basically holds on where the coulter goes. I think that's how you say it. But basically the disc. And it was bent, so we had to heat it up, and it's very thick. If you watched on my YouTube channel, there's a video on how thick it was, and we really had to heat it up. And since it's winter time right now, I was able to make a video on how cool it looks when you put the hot piece of metal in the snow, and I thought that was really neat, so I decided to make a video on it. Anyway, that's the piece right there, and it was bent, so we had to heat it up a lot and bend it back, and now this coulter should be riding nice and level now. That's pretty much everything I've done on this plow. I think I'm going to put it on pause right now until springtime because it's all adjusted right. The wheel's fixed and the coulters are fixed. We just need to put the discs on from the cash crop farmer when he takes them off his disc. But we're going to put those on, and we're going to sandblast the whole thing and paint it. but that's going to wait until spring, I think, because right now it's, I don't know what temperature it is exactly, but it's around negative 20. Maybe it's about negative 15, somewhere in between there, but it's pretty cold outside right now. So sandblasting outside would be a very fun job. Or painting, because right back here in the shop, the heater's up there in the front. So back here it's a little more cold than it is normally. So it'd be a better paint job, I think, if we waited until springtime or summertime anyway. So I just thought I'd give you guys an update on this John Deere 2-furrow plow. I hope to bring it to some plow days, hopefully this year, but we'll see how far we get on this plow project. But I want to thank you for watching, and if you like this kind of antique John Deere stuff, make sure to subscribe and go check out some of my other videos. And see you whenever I get to doing a video next. Thanks for watching.